Caffeine lovers, it may be time to take a break from looking at the drink menu and time to take a look at the nutrition label.
Weather is happening and I'm paying attention to it. Now I'm going to bring you an update on what it is doing. Get your weather kicks with me on my report.
California has opened the state's operations center as they expect a severe rainstorm later on this week.
This past weekend, President Biden visited the East Palestine area for the first time since last year's tragic train derailment, and we covered his visit and more.
This is TV2 News.
County, and thank you for starting your week with us. I'm Skylar Eddington.
And I'm Nikki Gajeski.
With caffeine being a part of many people's daily routines, it is important to know how much is too much.
That's right, our own Aaron Sullivan has more on the dangers of overconsumption of popular energy drinks.
Whether it's a cup of coffee in the morning or an energy drink to get you through an afternoon slump, many students look forward to their daily doses of caffeine. The FDA says 400 milligrams a day is a safe amount for most adults. But if you're not careful, too much caffeine can have consequences.
Caffeine has messed with my sleep. It's messed with my anxiety.
It almost feels like you're anxious. I'm not worried about anything, but your heart's beating fast. I'm kind of like shaky.
Would you drink 2 energy drinks in one sitting? Well, if you answered no, then you probably don't want to order a large charged lemonade from Panera Bread. One of these drinks is equivalent to drinking 2 of these energy drinks. Panera Bread is now facing 3 separate lawsuits over these drinks, 2 for causing the deaths of customers and 1 for causing irreversible health damage. Sarah Katz, a 21-year-old college student, died after drinking a large charged lemonade. She had a heart condition and wasn't aware that the drink had almost 390 milligrams of caffeine. Old social media posts show that Panera Bread lowered their 30-ounce charged lemonade from around 390 to 237 milligrams of caffeine. In addition to that, signs were placed outside of the store to warn customers to consume the beverage in moderation and that it's not recommended for children, people sensitive to caffeine, or pregnant women. Videos on social media also show some locations have moved their drinks refill stations behind the store counter.
You look at most cans, they actually say that people under 18 shouldn't consume them at all. So if you really think, is there that much of a difference between, an 18 and 19-year-old versus a 16, 17-year-old?
How can students consume caffeinated beverages safely? Well, you can start by keeping track of your daily intake by looking at food labels. And recording any side effects you may experience can help.
There definitely are some differences in how people metabolize caffeine. And so you really want to watch how people feel or what people feel when they consume it.
For TV2 News, I'm Aaron Sullivan.
The E. Timothy Moore Student Multicultural Center is hosting an event in honor of Black History Month called Black Identity Unveiled, Victoria Talks. The event will feature Victoria Alexander, who has a passion for raising critical consciousness and guiding students on a transformative journey of self-discovery, community building, and social change. The event is being held tonight from 5:30 to 7 p.m.
Staying in student involvement, the Student Rec and Wellness Center is putting a new spin on karaoke, literally. The Rec is hosting Lights Karaoke Spin from 8:15 to 9:15 tonight in the Combative Studio. The event is a free spin class where students can sing their heart rates up while pedaling. To attend, you have to have a pre-registered online and bring a donation item to receive a punch card, which enters you in an end-of-the-year giveaway.
Hi Kent State, I'm Ryan Shanko and I promised you weather and here it is. Let's take a look at your currently in Kent right now. The sun just went down about 45 minutes ago. It is 39 degrees here in Kent, but it's going to feel like 34, floating around that freezing mark tonight for our real feel. The dew point is sitting at about 20 degrees, so we shouldn't have to worry about ice building up on our cars tonight. Dew point is a bit too low for that. We have the low humidity to thank for that as well. 45% humidity tonight, not too much wind, and a Michael Neenan certified 10 miles of visibility tonight. And we're going to move on to our overnight and morning outlook. We're going to take a look at right now, like I said, 34 degrees and clear. At midnight, we're going to see some cloud cover. It's going to get cold. 24 degrees tonight, well below freezing with some light cloud cover. And then at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, before your sun comes up, it's going to be clear and it is going to be cold once more. 24 degrees for your morning commute tomorrow. And then tomorrow throughout the day, we are going to see the temperature get up near 50 degrees. 4-mile-per-hour wind, light wind. It's going to be sunglasses weather, lots of sun and blue skies. So take some time outside tomorrow to enjoy that nice sunny weather. Your sunset will be at 6:05 p.m. And well, that's all the time I have for you right now, but do not fear. The weatherman will still be here for a look at the temps around Ohio and your 7-day outlook. But for now, back to the desk.
Thanks, Ryan. With the one-year anniversary of the East Palestine train derailment, President Biden has brought renewed attention to the site after visiting last Friday. This is after Congress has considered a new bill that would exempt federal taxes on payments to individuals from Norfolk Southern. The bill would also exempt any relief payments for loss, damages, or other expenses from federal, state, or local governments. Stick around, TV2 will have more coverage on Biden's visit to East Palestine over the weekend later on.
Ohio lawmakers are conflicted about how to handle domestic abusers with guns. Democrats want to take guns away from those individuals who've been convicted or charged with first-degree misdemeanor for domestic violence with a firearm. Republicans instead are proposing a bill to increase the sentence range and create a presumption of prison time. Both bills will be heard in the next few months.
With all but 7 state legislators in session, several abortion bans are continuing to be introduced. The majority of these bills are in Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Dakota, and Tennessee. A lot of the bills are working to make abortions harder to access by trying to cut funding at Planned Parenthoods and increasing laws. One bill that was presented in Oklahoma was focused on abortion pills and the consequences of trafficking them. If found guilty, people could be charged with up to a $100,000 fine or 10 years in prison.
Biden's visit to East Palestine brought reassurance and mixed reactions from residents. Keep watching to see how these residents responded to the president's presence.
Censorship laws as they carry on their war with Ukraine.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even brought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
How's your hair? Is it pretty?
Daddy.
It's pretty.
Maybe honestly.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. President Biden made an appearance in East Palestine over the weekend.
That's right. The president landed at the Pittsburgh airport and then made his way over to the site. Our reporter Elena has more.
That's right, guys. It's 1 year too late. That's what East Palestine residents are saying in response to President Biden's visit to the derailment site Friday. Our reporter Alexandria Manthe was there and has more from residents.
President Joe Biden visited the village of East Palestine Friday for the first time since the Norfolk Southern train derailment in 2023.
There are acts of God. This was an act of greed that was 100% preventable.
Biden was invited by the village mayor, Trent Conaway, to see what cleanup efforts look like. In a press briefing, Biden announced 6 new National Institutes of Health grants, which will be committed to long-term studies done in East Palestine.
My administration is on the ground within hours, working closely with the governor, the mayor, the senators, the House members, community leaders.
Yet the president has been widely criticized for the delay in his visit.
If it was his hometown, what if it was his hometown? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was very delayed.
He was about a year late. Do I think that it'll help anything? There will probably be federal funding that will come as a result of it, so that's good.
Residents took to the streets to protest, many of them waving their flags in support of former President Donald Trump for the 2024 election. Others took this opportunity to raise awareness for the people of Palestine, calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. However, a handful of individuals showed up in support of Biden.
We asked him to come here for a year, and he has made good on that promise to care about us, to help us.
And residents tell us they're still having ongoing health concerns, and one resident even said that a year later, he still refuses to drink the water.
I know it's contaminated, so I don't use the water, but I love this town, and I don't know that I see myself moving out of it in the foreseeable future.
Biden said he can already see that this derailment won't define this community, calling the citizens both resilient and courageous.
A lot of us are pretty close, you know, and I feel like this is going to bring us a lot closer.
For TV2 News, I'm Alexandria Manthe.
Documents have been discovered at the National Archives that show that President Abraham Lincoln had pardoned President Joe Biden's great-great-grandfather. According to the Washington Post, the pardon was a result of a brawl between 2 Union Army civilian employees during the Civil War. Biden's great-great-grandfather, Moses Robintine, had stabbed a man in the midst of the brawl, leading to him being charged with attempted murder. He was pardoned after 3 Army officers petitioned Lincoln to overthrow his conviction. This Sunday, former President Jimmy Carter's family marked 1 year in hospice care. The 39th president is the oldest living U.S. president in history at 99 years old. He has survived brain cancer, liver cancer, and a number of other health concerns. Carter entered hospice care after many hospital visits. The Carter family released a statement that said they are grateful for the many expressions of love and respect for their privacy during this time. Former President Donald Trump has launched a sneaker line after being ordered to pay over $300 million in his New York civil fraud trial. He announced the line at a sneaker con in Philadelphia this Saturday. One of many of the sneakers, the high-top gold-colored sneakers, will cost about $400 a pair. The sneakers will be on sale this Wednesday at noon. Looking to vote in this year's March primary election, Ohio's voting registration deadline is set for tomorrow, Tuesday, February 20th. And if you need to vote early, in-person, and absentee mail voting begins on the 21st of February. Absentee ballots must be received by your Board of Elections on March 12th at 8:30 p.m. Have a good President's Day. For more stories like these, visit KentWire.com or our social media. I'm Elena Machicardi for TV2.
has officially activated the state's operations system as they prepare for severe weather this week. According to officials, the operations center will help coordinate a statewide response.
Although the powerful windstorm is expected to be brief, it could cause potential mudslides.
Well, guys, we will certainly be thinking about everyone out in California. But hey, Portage County, I am once again Ryan Shanko, and what do you say we grab our reading glasses, take a look at the temperatures in the northeast region of our beautiful Buckeye State. We're going to start up by the lake, as always, in Ashtabula, sitting at 36 degrees. And would you look at that? All three of our lake-lying cities are colder than we are down farther inland. 37 in Cleveland, 37 in Sandusky, 40 degrees in Kent, Ohio. That's where we are right now, Kent, Ohio. 39 in Youngstown as we approach the PA border. Then at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's 40 in Canton, 41 in Worcester, and 41 degrees in Mansfield as we're seeing some pretty average temperatures for this time of the year. We're going to zoom out and take a look at our statewide temps. 41 at that school down the road in Akron, 42 in Steubenville. Athens is actually setting the high water mark tonight at 51. They're a little bit warmer than Cincinnati, which is something we don't see too often. Dayton flying along at 47 degrees. The capital, Columbus, at 44, and Lima sitting at 41. Now let's take a look at our 7-day outlook. This is the People's 7-day forecast. Yeah. On Tuesday, tomorrow, high 48, low 28. It's going to be sunny all day. On Wednesday, 54 for the high. It's going to be slightly more windy, a few more clouds. On Thursday, you're going to be saying rain, rain, go away. 48 as the high and rain all day. On Friday, we're going to see a bitter cold low of 22 and a high of 41 with 24% chance of rain, partly cloudy skies for our weekend. On Saturday, it's going to be chilly, 34 degrees for our high, 24 is the low. And on Sunday, it's going to get a little warmer. We're going to approach 50 with a low at 35. And on Monday, it's going to feel like spring, 56 for our high and 45 for our low. And it looks like I'm out of time tonight, but you've got the weather you needed, so I can rest in peace this evening. For TV2 Weather, I've been Ryan Shankel. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Ryan. The Russian government is cracking down on dissent in independent media. A 67-year-old Moscow pediatrician who is not a known opposition activist was seen being led away at her own apartment for breaking censorship laws. Her alleged crime was knowingly spreading false information about the Russian army during their full-scale war on Ukraine. An OVD info analyst, Daria Korolenko, shares that the Russian government will imprison anybody from old people to those with disabilities to ensure that everyone stays silent.
The latest legal case for TikTok now concerns the European Union. The EU is launching a formal investigation to the social media platform to examine its protection of minors and adherence to the Digital Service Act. That ensures the platform isn't addictive for users. The investigation will test the app's transparency and advertising as well. As of now, TikTok has not commented on this legal battle.
The artificial intelligence company OpenAI just clinched a deal valuing themselves at over $80 billion. This is triple what the company was worth less than a year ago. According to the New York Times, the deal was with venture firm Thrive Capital, who sells existing shares in a tender offer but allows current employees to cash out their shares. The company executive was previously fired in November but was then reinstated after employees threatened to leave.
The NBA All-Star Game took place last night at the home of the Pacers. Stick around to see the best players on the planet go head-to-head.
An Oklahoma woman is about to celebrate her 100-year-old birthday, but with a twist. Find out the secret to her birthday this year and how she is celebrating.
brush, brushy brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hope you are all having a wonderful Monday night. My name is Noah Keeney, and it is time for the most important news. Sports news, of course. The Kent State men's basketball team returned Saturday afternoon, defeating Northern Illinois 85-47 inside the Mack Center. The Flashes shot 56% from the field and also recorded 10 triples. Jalen Sullinger and Von Cameron Davis finished the afternoon with 17 points. Sullinger also had 7 assists and 2 steals. Kent State led from the start and never took their foot off the gas. KSU also only allowed the Huskies to record 21 points in the second half. Next up is a road game in Athens tomorrow night. And now to the Diamond. Eric Challis was the brilliant in his first start of the season, while 6 different Flashes drove in a run as Kent State picked up its first win of the year on Saturday over the host UNC Wilmington Seahawks. The lefty Challis went the first 5 innings on Saturday, allowing only 1 run on 3 hits, walking 1 and striking out 9. Unfortunately, this Sunday, the Flashes would drop the rubber match to the Seahawks. Freshman Dom Kilber, however, had a pair of doubles and 2 runs, but it was not enough. The NBA All-Stars took on each other. It went back to the East versus West format as LeBron, record-setting 20 straight starts. Tyrese Halliburton in his home crowd would nail a deep 3 after deep 3. This one, sliding to his left, no effort. And this one is my favorite of all, right from the logo, just showing off at this point. Nothing but net, just drops it right in the bucket. Later on, Luka finds the old man LeBron James, who still has a little athleticism in him, slamming it home, and he would have a lot of superstar dunks that night. Look at that man still go. Trae Young. Trae, that's too icy. Between KD's legs, a little nutmeg. Kevin Durant wasn't ready for that move, and Trae Young showing off his all-star skill with a little up and in. Damian Lillard, he's going to just whip it up from half court, and he is going to nail it. He would do it again later on in this game, and he would eventually capture another MVP for the All-Star game. A little lob to Steph Curry, but he's just not that big, and he just lays it off the glass. Everyone's laughing. Nobody's taking it serious, and now 208 points. Dame again from half court, 211. That would be a record-setting total for the East, and the East would win this game, and Dame again would capture the All-Star game MVP. That's all I have for you tonight. I've been Noah Keeney. Until next time, Kent State, stay sporty. Back to Skylar at the desk.
Thanks, Noah. A Washington Starbucks has made some changes to become more inclusive. More about this after the break.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
What if you could make an impact? Be the change. Create a legacy. What if you could do it all? Join an organization 96 years in the making. and gain experience in a professional work environment with industry-level resources.
Getting started right away as a first-year student allowed me to gain real experience, gain the best of friends, and I got an internship with the Today Show where I got to live in New York.
Showcase and develop your talents as a writer, editor, photographer, fashion editor, filmmaker, journalist, operator, designer. If you can dream it, we can do it. Student media makes an impact on our community, on our students, and on the world. Together we share our voices, together we leave our mark. Together we are Kent State Student Media.
We return with some positive news. Starbucks is opening their first cafe designed for disabled customers. The cafe will include more accessible options like softer indoor lighting to minimize glare, materials to reduce background noise, and less clutter to help wheelchair mobility. To further accommodate wheelchairs, they will offer lower counters to pick up orders. All these changes will be at Starbucks' Washington, D.C. cafe.
And as we get older, people tend to pretend they are younger than they are, but one lady has a built-in excuse. Mary Forsyth, who is about to turn 100 years old, is really only 25. She was born on February 29th, 1924, which is Leap Day. Since leap years are only come by every 4 years, she is technically celebrating her 25th birthday this year. During non-leap years, people like Mary usually celebrate their birthday on either February 28th or March 1st. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think good for her. She finally gets to celebrate her 25th birthday. She can rent stuff now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think it's funny because I feel like people always kind of joke around about being younger than they are, but she really can. I mean, 100 years old, but she's actually only 25.
I would love to, I would not love to see her pulled over, but like if a cop were to come, she'd be like, well, sir, I'm just 25.
Oh, for sure. I think that's hilarious. But that is all the time we have for now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Be sure to visit our website at kentwire.com and our socials at kentwire. I'm Nikki Ujeski.
And I'm Skylar Eddington. Have a great night, Portage County.
Considering an online pharmacy? Explore BeSafeRx to find useful information and resources to help you purchase medicines safely online. A safe online pharmacy requires a doctor's prescription, has an address in the United States, has a licensed pharmacist, and is licensed by a state pharmacy board. It's best to stay away from online pharmacies that don't meet these criteria. Discover more helpful tips and resources at BeSafeRx. Go to fda.gov/BeSafeRx.
To Maddie. Congrats on those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow. I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money going to come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.